some general questions about Barcelona, because you moved from another city in Spain to Barcelona, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm from Alicante. It's also in the Mediterranean. Not sure if you know
Mm-hmm.
it. It's
I've heard of it, I think.
yeah, it's where
It's more to the
Benidorm.
south, right? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. It's like southeast, so not really Andalucía yet, but it's Comunidad Valenciana, so
Mm-hmm.
southeast. It's really close to Ibiza also.
That's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's similar because it's also super, super hot there.
Yeah. Other than it's now here, because
It's, I swear it's hotter right now there than it is here. So I have to
it's
be thankful that I'm
insane.
here.
Yeah. And I'm, as a Dutch girl, I'm already like, oh, it's too hot for me.
Yeah, how are you handling the heat wave?
It's okay. Only like during the night, normally it will cool down a bit, and now it's still like super hot even during the night. But yeah, I cannot complain. It's amazing with the sun, and we have the sea close by.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Thank God we have the sea.
yeah, that's so nice. So like I try to go to the beach every day to have a swim or
Oh, that's
something, just
nice.
to go out a bit. And how it's in the office? Like, is it okay in the office while it's so warm?
Well, it depends. I think the my colleagues who are working in the office are fine because they have the air conditioning on.
Mm-hmm.
I work from home, and at home it's a bit too hot right now.
Yeah, I
So
can
yeah.
understand. Well, there are a few people already joining. Welcome all to our today's live with Barcelona Expert Live and Telus International. I think we can just start. I think it's nice that you introduce yourself first, and then I will introduce myself as well, and then yeah, we will answer some questions.
Okay, thank you. Well, for everyone joining, thank you very much for being here. I'm Marta Dansó, and I'm a talent specialist, talent acquisition specialist, sorry, for Telus International AI Data Solutions. So basically, I'm in recruitment, sourcing, looking for candidates, looking for talents to join our team and to fill in some of the position that Telus International has in Europe, in different countries in Europe, actually.
Super nice. Yeah, thank you for being here today. My name is Marinka and I work for Barcelona Expert Live, which is a website with all the information an expat needs when coming to Barcelona. So how to get the NIE, for example, but also we have some interesting jobs online as well from Telus International. So I would definitely have a look. And today during this Q&A, we'll answer some more questions so we get to know Telus International a bit better and also like the jobs you offer. So we have some questions, but also like feel free to ask any questions you have during the live. We'll also share a link to the jobs of Telus International. So yeah, feel free to have a look there as well. You will find all the jobs they have available at the moment in that link. My colleague Amanda will share the link in the comment box. So yeah, let's start. Could you tell me what kind of company Telus International is?
Okay, so basically Telus International is a very large global company and the headquarters are in Canada. So we're a service providing company. But as of 2021, we have an artificial intelligence department. So it used to be under a company called Lionbridge, and now it's operating under Telus International. So that's the European artificial intelligence branch that I'm working with right now. So I'm based in Spain, but the majority of my colleagues are based in Finland, which is the headquarters for the artificial intelligence unit. And some of my other colleagues in my AI team are in Bulgaria and in Poland. And we have different positions in many of the countries that we operate within Europe. So we are looking for people in Poland, in Bulgaria, in Finland, in Denmark, even in Germany. And today we're mostly going to focus on the positions that we have in Spain. So we have an office in Barcelona, and we're looking for people to join the projects that we have ongoing there. So basically the tasks that are related to the position in Barcelona are like data collection, data annotation. So that's kind of this linguistic data collection that is used to train and improve artificial intelligence systems for many of our clients. So we work with many clients really big in the whole world. So that's basically what we're looking for as a human force to join the team here in Spain.
Yeah, sounds super interesting. I already saw some questions coming in. if you also have jobs available in Panama and in India. Do you by any chance know something about that?
Yeah, for sure. So in our career page, you are going to find all of the locations that we operate in, and you are going to find a long list of all the openings that we have available in all those different countries. Some are even remote. Many are also freelance. So we offer full-time, part-time, freelance positions. So it's always worth to go and check out our career page and see, just search by location.
Yeah, and then you can find it like via Google, typing in Telus International career page, and then they will
exactly.
get there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's super easy to find. So it's Telus International.
Yeah, I also see India coming in as well, and Colombia. So we have a super international life going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Welcome all. And can you describe the company culture of Telus International a bit, so that people know like what they can expect when working there?
Yeah, so well, as the name would suggest, we're quite international. So for example, in Barcelona, one of the ongoing projects that we have, we're working with employees of many different languages. So inside the office, we have an Arabic team, a Swedish team, a Norwegian team. So there are people from Denmark and Finland, and working in many different languages. So I think for me, that's the nicest thing that I found when I started working at Telus. So when I go into the office and I see that my colleagues, and I talk to my colleagues, I see that it's such a diverse group. It's so multicultural, and it's also such a good way to make friends once you've just arrived in Barcelona, because we have a lot of expats, so people who are just relocating and don't really know that many people in the city. So it's super nice that we have this multicultural environment, because you get people speaking all these different languages, and then everybody is speaking in English, and we're all trying to learn Spanish and also Catalan because we're here in Barcelona. So definitely that's the best part. And also I would say that we are really a tight-knit company. So for instance, when we're working at the office, then that's great, obviously, because you have people surrounding you. But also when you're working remotely, it can get a bit lonely, because at the end of the day, you're working within this super large company that has so many different employees, and you don't really get to see them face to face. But you don't feel like that at all, because you are working as part of a team. So whether that's people who are doing the same tasks that you are, or people who are doing some different tasks but are there to support you, you're always going to feel sort of like in their company and supported by their help. So I would say that's
sounds super nice. But is then the language you're mainly talking in the office, is it English, or are you like all talking your own language?
Yep. So English is the main working language at Telus International. So for every job, you are going to be asked to have a sort of advanced level of English, so that we can all work together, and you can also work on different projects. So for instance, myself working as a talent acquisition specialist, many of my colleagues are Finnish, and I don't speak Finnish. Unfortunately. So we all speak in English, and at the office too. So you can speak in your language, of course, but one of the main requirements is going to be able to speak English, because that's the main working language all across.
Yeah, I also see a question here from Sheena. I saw that the jobs are open for Nordic languages as well. Must one be a native speaker to apply? So do you have to be a native Nordic speaker to apply?
It depends on the role, but for example, the role that I wanted to discuss with you today here is language data analyst, and that's the main position that we have in Barcelona. So I'm not sure if you were asking about that role in particular, but I can maybe explain. So for the language data analyst role, which I'll explain a bit later on what it consists. We are looking for native speakers of the languages that are open right now. So for example, you were mentioning about the Nordic languages. We're always looking for Norwegian speakers, Danish speakers, Swedish, Dutch, and we need to be native speakers of those languages, because we are looking for candidates who have a very thorough and proficient knowledge of both the language, but also the culture, day-to-day news, everything surrounding that language. So it's not just proficiency. And that's for the language data analyst role. But for example, I can tell you, in case she was also wondering, that we have some transcriber roles in Bulgaria and in Finland, and we're looking for near native levels. So depending on the role that you're looking for, if you have an advanced level of this language that you are interested in working, then I would say for sure apply, because it would definitely be written in the job description. But it depends on the role, if we're looking for native speakers or near native. Yeah,
I think that answered her question. I also saw another question coming in. If you're recruiting in India, I think you just mentioned that they should look on the career page of Telus International. There you can find every job they have at the moment. And for the ones just joining, if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them, and Marta will answer them for you. Let's move on with our Q&A. Yeah, actually, that's the next question. Could you tell me a bit more about the jobs you have open at the moment at Telus International and what these jobs are about?
Yeah, exactly. So right now in Barcelona, we have this quite big project for one of our main clients. And the position that we're recruiting for the most is called language data analyst, which I know needs some clearing up because it really doesn't give much away, that name.
No, it's a bit complicated.
Exactly. It's also a bit complicated to explain, but once you're in it, you kind of understand that it's just nomenclature for these types of roles. So basically, language data analyst position is an entry-level position, and we are looking for speakers, native speakers in this case, of different languages. So for example, right now we have openings for Danish, Norwegian, and Dutch. And in the past, we've also had Arabic, Turkish, Hebrew, Swedish, Danish.
Yeah, so a lot of different languages,
Exactly. So basically what a language data analyst does is they analyze linguistic data. So it's annotation, and this is linguistic data that you will receive in the language that you're working on. And that's why we need native knowledge, because it also is important that the person, the candidate, understands the cultural references and everything along those lines. And it's going to be linguistic labeling of this this language that you're working on, and this data is going to be used to train and improve artificial intelligence systems. So like voice recognition devices, voice recognition software, these kinds of artificial intelligence systems that our clients are developing. And we want to offer this sort of human power data collection, so that they have a huge database of a specific language to work on and to be able to use it to train the voice recognition systems.
Yeah, sounds super interesting. And we'll save this live as well, so you can just like hear it over again after we finish the live. And you also have sometimes roles as a linguist, right? Could you also tell me a bit more about that role?
Yeah, exactly. So these two roles are kind of two sides of the same coin. So the language data analyst is a very entry-level position. So we don't really require you to have any prior experience in artificial intelligence. And it's really nothing to do with data analysis, because many people get confused with the title and misunderstand, and they think that because they haven't studied a degree in mathematics or computer science, they can't apply for this, but that's not at all the case. And then the linguist position is actually a very high profile. So we are looking for people for specific languages. Right now we have Danish open and English, the Singapore variant. So as you can see, it's very specific and very hard to find.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Maybe someone here can like fill it in.
Exactly. Go right ahead and apply for the position if you speak this very specific variant of English, Singapore. So basically the position is for someone with a very high profile in linguistics. So and also not just linguistics, but someone who has either worked before or has really specialized in their studies in phonetics and phonology. So they need to be very familiar with this, with all these kinds of aspects of linguistics. So
yeah,
it's not quite someone who has studied, for example, translation, or someone who has studied language teaching. It's very, very specific for phonetics and phonology.
yeah.
It's a very high profile. So this is obviously one of the most interesting positions in artificial intelligence and language that you can find. And it's very difficult to find someone because the profile is so specific.
Yeah. And for example, when you start as a language data analyst, can you grow into the role of a linguist?
I would say that it is possible, but you do need to have this education and background first. Otherwise, it's quite hard to get to the linguist position if you don't have any knowledge in phonetics, phonology. Although we have had cases of people who already have this sort of educational background, and they start as the language data analyst because it's an entry-level position for their language, and that's the vacancy that we had open at the minute. And then when a vacancy opens up as a linguist, because they already have this educational background and they've already been working within the project because they started in this entry-level position, they are going to be the absolute perfect candidate because they already know the ins and outs of the project and the client. So if you already have some sort of education on this, and or maybe you've worked on this before, and then something opens up for the linguist position, for instance, it's always better to already have applied or to already be working in the company, because one thing about Telus International is that we're really big on internal promotion. So that's always something positive for candidates to know, also because we offer a lot of opportunities for career progression. And if you start on an entry-level position, but your managers or your project coordinators or whoever see that your profile is suited for something else that's coming up, then you're going to be contacted first. And if you apply to kind of like change departments, then that's always going to be easier for you because you're already inside, and we already know you.
Yeah, you already know the culture, like how everything works inside the company.
Exactly.
So you first like look inside the company. So yeah, it's super nice to know, I think, for everyone, that you can get promoted within the company. I think that's also a nice aspect of a business.
And we also have, sorry.
No, you go first.
So we also have really interesting anecdotes relating to this kind of career growth. So for example, in my case, I started out as a language data analyst last year. And then I started out in a different department. So I didn't have any experience in recruitment, but I was able to start working in this sourcing talent acquisition position because I already knew the ins and outs of the project. I already knew the position. So I know what we're looking for because I used to work as a language data analyst. And some of my colleagues who were also language data analysts have been able to be promoted to so higher up roles, so team leads, language leads, and things like that. So that's obviously good to know of actual real people who have had these experiences, who started in these entry-level positions but have been able to grow within the company.
Yeah, that's so nice to know. I just saw a question coming in of Roberto. I'm about to begin data analyst studies. Do you consider that if you have an advanced English level but not a native level, can you still be accepted in the company as a data analyst?
Okay, so this is what I was kind of clearing up before. So I know that the name is a bit misleading because many people think that this is related to data analysis, as in what you were mentioning about your studies. So this position is really more focused on the language side of the data annotation tasks. But I would say that if you are studying data analysis, then don't hesitate to check out our openings too, because that's obviously a role that it's obviously a profile that we're very interested in within the artificial intelligence department. So we're most definitely going to have an opening for you if your profile is that advanced already. And then in regards to the language, I mentioned before that it kind of depends on the role. So for a language data analyst, for instance, then it's great that you already have such an advanced level of English because it's going to be one of the requirements. But if you're applying for example, for Norwegian language data analyst, then we need you to be native Norwegian.
Yeah.
For another of our roles that we have, what I mentioned before in Bulgaria and Finland, some of the transcriber roles that we have there, I believe that with near native language level, then if you can pass the selection process, then it should be no problem.
Super. And I also saw the question coming in, if the jobs are remote and if they're full-time.
Okay, so I'm going to start by answering for the language
first
data analyst.
Yeah.
So for example, language data analyst is full-time and it's a permanent contract, but it's not remote. It's at the office here in Barcelona. And then the rest of the positions that we offer, some are remote, some are on-site.
Yeah.
Most of them are full-time, and some you have the option of being part-time or being freelance. So I would say it kind of depends on the role.
Yeah, so really depending on the role, it's either full-time, part-time, remote, or on-site.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And can you find it like in a job description?
Yes, exactly. Okay, this information will, it will be disclosed.
Yeah. And I also saw a question coming in if you have jobs available in Kenya. I think they can find it as well on the Telus International page, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you go to the locations tab, you will find all of the locations where we have jobs available in.
Super. Let's move on with our Q&A, because I think this is also a really interesting question to answer. As a recruiter for Telus International, for what kind of candidates are you looking? I think we answered that already a bit, but can you be a bit more specific about this?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I would say the first thing that we focus on is we try to find someone who has an actual personal interest in artificial intelligence. So even though, for example, the language data analyst position is quite entry level, so we're not going to be looking at your CV trying to find some 4 or 3 years of experience in whatever fields in artificial intelligence, but I am going to try to find with the screening questions that you have to answer when you apply, for example. I'm going to try to find some actual personal interest in artificial intelligence. So I would say that that's the first step. The second point would be English level. So because English is our working language, as I mentioned before, I am looking for candidates who have an advanced level of English, both oral and written comprehension. That's always going to be something really important. And then I'm also looking for instance, for this specific position of language data analyst, I'm looking that you are a native speaker of the language that you're applying for.
And do they also have to do a conversation in their native language or only in English? So the first steps are in English, but will there also be a conversation in their native language?
No, everything is going to be in English. The whole process is going to be in English. The recruitment process typically goes via email. So you will be emailing either with me or with the recruiters that are responsible for the position that you're applying to. And then you will either have a test in English, depending on the position, or you will have, aside from the emails, the last step is normally going to be a short interview. So like 20 to 30 minutes call. And this is going to be in English, definitely. And it's nothing to be scared of, I promise. We don't bite.
That's good to know. Yeah, because the next question I have is like, as a, how does the recruiting process look like at Telus International? You already answered it a bit, but maybe you can give some more insights about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it also depends on the role, because some roles, if they're higher profile, they're going to have a few more steps. But for example, for language data analyst position, so once you apply, you are landing in our database where we get your contact details, your CV, and we also get your answers to a questionnaire, a short questionnaire that you reply to when you're applying. And the questions are basically, so do you have any other experience working in language-related fields, or what is your educational background? Or do you have any personal experience using voice recognition software, something like that? So then if our recruiters find your profile to be suitable for the position that you're applying to, then we will email you right away. This email is going to be in English. And in this initial email, you will find all of the details about the job. So a bit of a further explanation, the salary, the type of contract, everything is going to be there in this initial email. So that's always good to have right off the bat.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So after a few emails where we basically ask what kind of documentation you already have and what your availability is and stuff, you will be sent a test in English. And this test is something that the client is requiring every candidate to take. And then if you pass this test, then you get to the interview. Once the interview is done, it's a short interview. It's nothing to be scared of. Then we notify the hiring managers, and they are the ones alongside the client who are making the decision whether to hire or not hire. So it's really not that long of a process, and if all goes smoothly, it can be done in 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, that's super fast, because sometimes it takes months, I've heard.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But it's nice, yeah, that it's super short. And yeah, for the ones that just joined, if you have any questions for Marta about working at Telus International, please feel free to ask them. We're here to answer them. Yeah, and then the next question: what skills do you need to have by working for Telus International? We already touched upon it a bit, but could you give them as a guideline for the ones who want to apply?
Yeah. So basically, I would say that the number one skill is English level, and also some kind of analytical skills. And this can be something very loose and ambiguous, because it depends on the position. But for instance, I would say that for language data analyst, what I think is most important is sort of organizational skills and also communication skills. So are you going to be able to focus on your tasks while also having people around you? Are you going to be a good communicator within your team? Are you also going to be a team player, even if your tasks end up being quite autonomous and you're working on your computer? So those kinds of interpersonal skills, I would say, are more important than maybe having a 5-page CV with loads of experience somewhere
else. Of course. Yeah. Oh, it's good to know. And when you decide to, for example, I'm living in the Netherlands and I decide to come to work for Telus International in Spain, do you also offer a relocation package?
Yes, so for many positions we have offered, and we offer some relocation support. So this is this is discussed with the recruiters in question once the selection process starts, and we can kind of explain how much or what. For example, we have covered up to a certain percentage of the plane tickets, and then the accommodation for the first month. So that's also always good to know in case you are actually relocating to begin this position.
Yeah, for sure. Good to know. And for example, when you're moving to another country, what kind of paperwork do you need when you want to work for Telus International?
This is also really important. So since we are right now looking for many languages that are within the EU, this is normally not something that is difficult, because people within the EU can work in Spain without any other needed work permits. But the candidates need to have some sort of work permit to be able to work in Spain. And then once you arrive in Spain, there are 2 very important things that you need. So one is the NIE, and this is like a sort of ID number for foreigners. And then the second one is the Spanish Social Security number. So these 2 are very important, and we have been offering some sort of support to some extent for many candidates to be able to find to obtain these documents.
Yeah, I think that's super nice, because I've heard it a lot that it's really hard to get your NIE number. It sometimes takes months, so it's nice to have some support while obtaining that.
Exactly. And there's I think a 3-month cadency period where you can when you've just relocated to Spain, at least you can start working while you are waiting to get these documents. So that's also a good margin to know in case it's like a really short relocation, a really short move, and you're about to start right away. So that's always good. And we also try to be flexible within the client's needs. We try to be flexible and work around the candidate's availability. So also any holidays that are planned or any relocation dates that kind of depend on bureaucratic processes, which we know can take time.
Yeah. I think that's really good to know. I think that, it's so nice that you have someone that can help you going through these processes. Yeah, because I've heard a lot from expats that it can take a while getting your knee arranged.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Well, I think this was all the questions I had for you. I don't know if there are any more questions from the people watching. Feel free to ask them now. And otherwise, definitely have a look on the website of Telus International. There you'll find all the jobs they have available, also in Barcelona. It's really nice to live here, and we can tell.
Yeah, exactly. Right now it's very hot, but as you said before, I really can't wait to go to the beach. So maybe tomorrow evening is going to be a really good moment to go to the beach. I think the whole city is going to be there, though.
I think so too. It's weekend and everyone is free, so probably it's going to be busy, I think. Yeah, and if you have any other questions, like feel free to send us an email, or I think Marta is always available to answer any questions. Follow us on Instagram. You can also drop a question there, and definitely have a look at their job page. And also on Barcelona Expat Live, we have a few jobs available from Telus International, so you can also have a look there, find a bit more explanation about the job opportunities. And then I don't know if you have anything to add still, Marta?
Yes, sure. So thank you to everyone who joined, and thank you for all the questions, and thank you, Marinke, for putting this together. And I also wanted to encourage everyone to follow us on our LinkedIn and our Instagram accounts, and to check out the career page. That's kind of the most important message that's I'm going to say today.
Yeah, I think so too, because there were a lot of people like asking if they can get a job like from everywhere around the world. So that was really nice that we had so many international people joining us today.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Marta, thank you so much for hosting this live with me. I hope it was useful and that you got like the information you needed. And yeah, I would say let's do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other questions? Yeah, feel free to drop us an email, Barcelona Expat Live, for all the information when you want to move to Barcelona, and Telus International if you would like to find a nice job in a nice company.
Thank you so much, Marinke, and thank you for everyone who joined today. It was lovely.
Thank you so much, and have a nice evening.
Bye. You too.
Bye.